blinds and shut the door. You can see me either or. Don't call me cause I call you. You've been wrong like two left shoes. Close the blinds and shut the door. Don't call me cause I call you. Close the blinds and shut the door. And shut the door. Don't call me cause I call you. 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 You never wanna talk about it. You never seem to wanna care. So I'm just gonna laugh about it. There's nothing that I love is fair. You never want it, so I'm just gonna laugh, cause nothing that I love is fair. You never wanna talk about it, you never seem to wanna care, so I'm just gonna laugh about it, cause nothing that I love is fair. 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 All right, man. Yes. What is going on? What is going on, man? Gerald Peters. Hey, let me know you can hear me. Hey, and remember, man, whatever it is you think about comes about. And I promise you, whatever it is you focus on, that is what is going to grow in your life. I try to go live here at least 3 times a week, if I can. Let's take this down a little bit. And hopefully take you through over a period of time a better understanding, if you have my book, The Money Flow Trading System. It's a breakdown. Mostly, I need to do part 2, man, to be honest. It's mostly, what's up, Blake? What's up, man? Hey, if you guys aren't on the Peters Report, I just sent out a new email. Should have hit your inboxes. Click that QR code with that stupid looking duck on it, and that'll take you to that issue. You can get signed up in there. If you got it in you, get in my trade of the week, and we can trade together. Let's see. Are we live on Instagram? Let me see. What's up, Instagram? Instagram, what's up, Welly? Yo. If you go on over to YouTube, I think at Full Auto 11, I think you'll get a better experience. Screen's kind of small on the Instagram. This chart here, we're looking at oil. Now, oil's been pretty interesting setup. Let me pull up one I don't have markings all over. If you go to stock charts and you go to public chart list,
You can see the 200 stocks that I follow every day. USO. About 200, maybe a little less. Man, that one looks slightly different, doesn't it? Let me check the Brent crude. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but let's put this here. So we're going to look at this oil. Hold on. Bring it up so you can kind of see it a little better. And then I'll bring down the smaller window here in just a second. Man, Wiley says November, December market run. Well, if you know what I believe nobody knows shit. Nobody knows. But we can, like a buttocks, we all have an opinion, right? The market's bullish. So I follow the money flow. Money flow says we're going up. I don't try to look for a reason to disagree with my strategy. If the market is going up, the market's going up. Don't try to be smart and outsmart it. That's a good way to lose a lot of your money. So right now the market's bullish. You know, we can look at the charts and see that. Anything else is just bullshit. What's up, Michael Gang Bang? If I could only own one stock, I'd be depressed. That's a good one. Hey, if you got the new email in there, I ask you, there's going to be some homework charts. I'm going to get more with you on that. But what I'm going to ask you to do on those homework charts is see if you see what I see. All right. It doesn't mean draw. People going crazy outside. I'm in New Orleans right now. Doesn't mean every single thing, the big, what am I seeing? So if a stage 2 is happening and it's day 1 candle shooting up, that's what I'm looking for is that, okay? What's up, Ronnie? What's up, my man? So do the homework. I tell you to make you a better trader. I'm going to text that out. I'm going to send that out. I'm going to email that out. I'm going to do all but beg and see if we can't get at least 30, 40% of the MFG to do their homework. It's hard to get people to do homework. It's hard to make people rich. They don't want to be rich. You got to pull them. You got to drag them into it, man. Most people want to be poor. It's easier. It's always easier to be poor than to be rich. It's easier to be rich than poor. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Man, nice. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. Let's look at this oil, what we got going on here. First thing I do when I see it, so I went and got rid of everything I'd marked up. But if you want to see my chart markups, you can always get on the email list. Subway, over at the StreamYard here to the left, that's with the stupid duck. Click that, or I'll put it down in the notes too. In a minute, I'll put it down. It's obviously down in the description, but I'll put it in the chat here too. Now, when I first look at this is one of the first things I notice. This is how you annotate on these charts. If you don't know how to work with stock charts very well, if you get my course, Getting Started with Stock Charts, the money flow way, you'll breeze right through this. Don't want to be able to spend a lot of time on that. You want to be able to get through it. And we have this going. More money, more problems. That's for damn sure. I have a lot more problems now than I had when I had no money, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't going to lie. You see the slopes here? Now, we don't do a lot with trend lines. You don't hear me talk a lot about them. I see them in my head. Moving averages are just flowing trend lines, you know? Just trend lines that are just flowing down the road. And trend lines, much like if you're drawing one, whether it be on the top side of the price or the bottom side, and by with that, I mean this would be the bottom side of price, right? And up here is the top side of price. Now, what we have here is failure to communicate. This here is a channel. Makes sense if you think about it, man. It looks like a channel. And you really need a couple points to make a channel. Up in here, I'm going to explain to you why I ignored this. And here, you know, really, it would be this right around here. And I'll show you what. And then here, right here, here, here. That's almost tradable, right? If you could read the future, looking back, that looks easy. It's like, bro, she just got in, got out, got in, got out, shorted it, went long. Look at it. Could have made a fortune in there. It looks easy in retrospect. You know, Amazon was an easy buy looking backwards. And yet you didn't buy it and your parents probably didn't buy it. NVIDIA is obvious now. It's obvious now. It wasn't obvious 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 4 years ago, because you have to stay with these stocks every day in order to make that happen for yourself. So I follow Uber every day. I have been for years and years, and I plan to do it for the next 10, 15 years, because I figured out that's how you build wealth, is you just stay with it. You just don't fucking let up. You just stay with it. That's kind of the secret to everything. That's how you rise up in a company. That's how you become good at playing sports. That's how you get good at playing the piano. Is repetition is the mother of skill. You have to tap into the universal collective, man, and ask for, hey, I want more. I want to be better. And we're given a formula for that in the book, The Science of Getting Rich. The formula is to be plus do. Actually, that's not from The Science of Getting Rich. That is from the Master Key. I should read some of that. The Master Key is badass. It's a very hard book to read, though. I'm going to be honest. It's not the easiest book in the world to read. I have it on audio, and I have it on. I got it on audio, and just through this stupid Apple thing, the books on Apple. Man, I should have had this on here before I came on here. Huh? Let's take that down. There it is, The Master Key by Charles and L. Very good book. Very cool, man. It is not an easy read, though. I just want to say that, okay? The first chapter is gold. I mean, that's worth the cost of the book. So, I've been kind of doing a rewrite on it in a more of a modern touch. Hopefully we'll have that out soon. My man said nothing like after dinner, GP Live. I don't know. Hey, man, what's up? So we're looking at oil here, and what I see, and I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I look at when I walk up to a chart. First thing I do is scan left to right. And what's the general movement on this? If you look at just kind of, if you can't quite tell, draw the upper trend line and draw the bottom. As you're drawing it, these little rips you see where it then comes down and closes below in there, I ignore them. There's one right there. I would ignore that. And I connect the tops that made sense. Same on bottoms, because you'll get this dip down and then it comes right back. And I've always called that, what's up, home? I've always called that, if anybody has it, if you're in Discord, man, drop that in Discord for me if you wouldn't mind. Let me, matter of fact, while we're doing this, I thought I had it set up. Did I not? Wow. I don't have a show host, man, right now. So fucking some of this makes some of this stuff hard. Yeah. We're going to have one of our all right, check this out.
It's now exclusively here at Post 9 is the company's chairman and CEO, Larry Fink. Larry, good to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Charles, David.
And Jim will probably ask some questions as well, no doubt about that. I guess, it seems as though things are working on all fronts for you. Is this as good as it can get, Larry?
Well, it is gratifying. I mean, what really identified us in the third quarter, the breadth of where we grew. It wasn't just one business area. It was from cash to our systematic equity, our AI-based equity team that grew $30 billion over the course of the year, $10 billion in the quarter. Crypto, our digital asset platform, our private markets platform, our investment technology record quarter. So it was not just one product. Was being engaged, and now with pathology and now digital, we're the firm that more and more people are going to worldwide.
What do you mean by digital?
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities to bonds across the board.
It's very loud here.
It is very loud.
But it's good. Capital's at work. Larry. You like that.
I love capital at work.
Yeah.
But there's $4.1 trillion of money sitting globally in digital wallets. A lot of that money is outside the United States. If we can tokenize an ETF, digitize that ETF, we can have investors who are just beginning to, invest in markets through, let's say, crypto. They're investing in it, but now we could get them into the more traditional long-term retirement products. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next tens of years, as we start focusing, moving away from traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner, and then having people stay in that digital ecosystem.
Repotting them.
They can have their cash. And we have the largest cash money market fund that's tokenized called BITL. Our Bitcoin IBIT is now over $100 billion.
$100 billion, I know, from nothing not that long ago.
And 2 years ago, zero.
Yeah,
so
I know. Well, you weren't always a huge proponent of crypto, as we know.
You
love it now.
But I grow and learn.
I heard you say that on 60.
Make money in any market.
Wow. Talk about, okay, Jimmy. Jim's going to pump his book right now. So tokenizing assets, I don't know if you saw this interview. It always surprises me a little bit that this motherfucker is head of BlackRock, man. He is so boring to listen to him talk. He's obviously a good trader, a good investor if you're going to run that firm. And they have the most assets in the world. Where's it at here? Larry Fink, man. I did a write-up. I did a podcast on Larry Fink from BlackRock. I own a lot of shares of Blackstone. Blackstone is a competitor of BlackRock. And these are what we would call, these are private equity type companies. They do what me and you do. They're trying to take their money, which is investor money, and invest it in different things and spread it out. And now they see, I think, soon as they switched like that, they went from against crypto to for crypto. Now they've got the largest inflows. Their ETF has the largest inflows. And if you haven't, let me see if I can pull this up. So they're all over the crypto now. They think it's great. Hey, at least they do, right? It's better than I know some people kind of get irritated by it. That's just the way it goes, man. That's how everything comes into play. If you haven't already, man, if you go over to our Substack, if you're on a Substack, the MFG Bitcoin Trade Report with GP, I've been slowly building this thing out as we trade crypto more and more and more and more, the different ways we can do it. Where's my thing here? There we go. So the MFG Bitcoin Trade Report. Eventually, we'll have someone inside the MFG will help me and take over this letter as we show people and help people learn how to. Now you can earn passive income off Bitcoin, right? Through assets like Bitto, and YieldMax has different assets. What do they got over there? The YBit or whatever the hell it's called. Bitto is my favorite one. James Holmes says, GP, which infrastructure do you think these tokens will be on? Ethereum? I think it's either going to be Ethereum or Solana, right? I mean, those are I think Solana hurt itself when they got hacked, right? And, you haven't heard much about it since. Ripple, XRP, I mean, in the native token coin is Ripple. I think works. I think that plays with some banks, they don't want to sit around trying to recreate their own, all their own, they don't want to try to make up their own coins and go through all that. Ripple Labs has already put a lot of time, effort, put billions of dollars in the research and keeping the coin safe and this and that. It's probably cheaper to use someone like that, I would think. So our play in this space, I know I just switched subjects here, but that's just kind of the way it goes. Now that I'm thinking about it. Noah says Bitto is solid. Yeah, I like it too. My man says Tom Lee's been pushing the ETH blockchain like crazy. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. Because of him, I went back and gave it a second. I mean, I don't want to make sound like a second look like I didn't look at it first. I've owned Ethereum as long as I've owned Bitcoin, because you get into it, you start watching all the interviews and this and that. Let me change pages here. We'll come back to oil, but right now oil is a stage 4, man, still going down. If you look at the indicators, look over here at the TSI pointing straight down, the MACD histogram still pointing down. Everything's pointing down. We're still in a stage 4 decline, although there's some possible support to our left. So, but let me look at this. Bitcoin. Man, we're kind of holding up here. So let me check, see if I got one of these charts marked up. All right, on the 30-minute, man, this is a good teaching example. I'm going to have to get off the goddamn thing and make a video. Companion coins like Link. I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest. I just been buying the big 5. Bitcoin, and if you guys know, I love Bitcoin Cash. I've got this theory that when the world accepts Bitcoin, people are dumb. They're going to look at Bitcoin and silver. They're going to look at gold and silver as their example. And they're going to, I know some people have tried to put Ethereum as the silver to Bitcoin as gold, but I think it's Bitcoin Cash. And it's the same code. It's the same thing, man. If you like Bitcoin, I don't know how you couldn't like Bitcoin Cash. It's the same code. It's just a fork, which is Ethereum came from a fork as well. Trying to make Bitcoin more useful, more totalitarian. We've come now that Bitcoin is a store of value, which I think Bitcoin Cash will become a store of value, or it will become the cash method of Bitcoin. That's just an opinion. I own a bunch of it. I own more Bitcoin Cash than I own Bitcoin. And then XRP, Ethereum, and Solana. That's the big 5 to me. You're going to make money if you just own those 5. Let's see. This is a 30-minute chart we're looking at here. And notice this. So when I walk up to this chart, first thing I notice, I go over and get my animation tool. And I want to go, hold on. Left to right. Okay. You notice I've already been doing that. I just got to adjust it now. And I take it across the tops. Damn, how far away is this thing? Take it across the tops here. And I'm trying to connect the most of them. Like there connects one. Look at how many. Damn it. Hold on. Having some mouse issues. There's like a week right here, right? In bars. What is going on? This one, has what we talked about where it runs up, turn right back down, just like it did here. Right? So we've got this nice little down slope going. But price has stopped here before this 110 range, How do you get your charts like mine? You should get my course, Getting Started with Stock Charts, the Money Flow Way. I think right now it's only $40, guys. And you're going to get like 5 years of charting. When I first started doing charts, I didn't have the internet. Oh, well, no, that's true. We did not have the internet. Shortly thereafter, started getting the internet, and then we could call in trades by email. You could email in a trade. I'm going to give you this link, bro. If you don't have it, get it. If it says that it's $60-something, hit me up and I'll give you a code to get it cheaper for 40. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Should take you to it. Is it not hyperlinked? Anyway, I won't sit a lot of time on that. It may not be hyperlinked, but that's it. GeraldPeters.info. If it shows that it's more than $60, guys, hit me up and I'll send you a code and it'll be $40-something. It's right at $40. So we know this. Now this is 30-minute chart. So if you follow my Bitcoin letter, this is the chart of execution. I want to look at the daily chart for my overall big picture. So let's take it down to the next one. Bitcoin number 3. And Bitcoin number 3 is a daily chart. Now, when I look at this daily chart and I go left to right, So I look at the chart, and what I see is I go to the very first day on the right, the very end, which is the current day, right? I look there. I don't want to make this just simple and dumb as possible, okay? Right there, draw a bubble, and then I look over here at where the next one is, the last one is, which would be the first one, on about 6 months. And then if you were to just to keep it, again, as simple as possible, connect the middle of this circle with the middle of that circle. Come on, man. What is that? That's a damn uptrend. Higher highs and higher lows. That, my friend, is an uptrend. Just basic, but then you really you got to bring it in. That's too wide to trade on. And that's how strategies start being developed. Almost anybody can look at a chart and say, well, yeah, that's been going up. It's an uptrend. Yeah, no shit. But now let's try to play it today. Start playing it today, because tomorrow it might turn. Really missed out. Let's see. Really missed out on the ETF, Global X Blockchain ETF. Will it continue to grow? Hey, John, I don't know how long you've been in the market. That motherfucker right there will get cut in half. Trust me. About every 2 years, cut in half. What always sucks is it seems like it's just after you bought in. But be ready to add to it when that happens. That's the kind of shit, right? I would just buy some. Like BKCH. Not a lot. I just buy some. And I just buy some on when it comes down. And then once it has its first stage 4 decline, and we get that big move down, that's when I'm going to that is when I'm going to step in and start to use my trading skill that I learned from old GP. Yeah, if you notice, let me share this tab with you. PetersReport.com. Now, it's not to confuse anybody. This is free. I've been giving this free out on the internet for almost 6 years now. It's about 42 pages. This is my personal trading log, right? And I try to recap what happened last week. Boom, in the front. That gives me something to play off of going forward. And it's not so much to try to understand the news, to try to play the news. It is, if I can see the news, then I know what's in play, right? So it's kind of like going into a casino. You want to play on the table that has action. You don't want to be the only guy at the table. So I don't want to just, I like Barks, I'm just going to buy Bar. No. We want to buy that when pet stocks are on the move, right? Or when pet stocks get crushed. So if I'm an investor, I want to buy them when tech stock get crushed. If I'm a trader, I need them moving. Man, my man says, John says, thoughts on Circle, the issue of the U.S. stablecoin. Well, I'm going to tell you right here. Let's see. We don't mention, do I have it mentioned in here? Hey, this part needs to be updated, guys. I sent out a new one. I'll get that updated. And we got Circle listed on here. Yeah, Circle's been one of we in the MFG. This is one thing that I think the value of trading with other people, or at least being part of a community. We've been in Reddit since it came out, man. You know what I mean? So if you're my friend, when Reddit comes out, I say, hey, Reddit IPO, don't buy it. Wait. We wait. It's going to come down. They all do. I've seen it. Been trading 20 years. It happens over and over and over and over. That's why I made up the rule. And I said, okay, I'm going to wait for the first big pullback. But what I'm looking for, and if you're a little more anxious, all you got to do is drop it down to a 30-minute chart and then apply the money flow rules and wait for all 6 of the money flow trading systems indicators to appear on your goddamn chart. And if you do that, I guarantee it, you're going to do just fine because you're going to catch the run up, man. You're going to catch it. Let's see. No doubt you're going to catch it. So in this Bitcoin, we're looking left or right. And I talked about, I look for the first bar and I look for the last bar and I draw a circle, and that gives me the general sloping direction. It's going up. Now, as a trader, that's what I'm looking for, man. I'm not looking for shit going down as a trader. I'm looking for shit going down as a trader when I'm looking to be an investor. Does that make sense? What site is he charting on? Well, my lady, I am on stockcharts.com. I like stockcharts.com better than I like TradingView. I do have TradingView as a backup. I ain't gonna lie. But I like this better. I just find it easier to work with. I think when you set up folders that are easier, like if you look up here, you'll see it says the wind, right? In the money flow, what do we do? Hold on. Oh, no, let's use this one. What do we do in the money flow, right? We have the wind. And the wind are the 7 assets, right? Are the 7 most valuable assets in the world. And we track them. And I put them on my whiteboard. Oh. This was the email I just sent out. The Peters report staying one step ahead of the market. The question that reveals the investor in you. What I'm talking about there, I'm going to ask you a question. And what I ask you, and I ask you in the comments to give it to me, but that you could think about it. If you had to put all your money in one stock, what would it be? Can't be an index fund. Can't be the VOO or some shit. Has to be a stock. You got to put your money in, all your money in it. That's it. That's all you're going to get the rest of your life. Now, it's an unfair question, obviously. But I think if you're forced, my man says I'm playing on stock charts. And he is right. I think if you're forced, I meant to restart my computer before I got on here. And this is in the front of the email. This is my Sunday homework. I realized Sunday email messed up. We've had some changes in writing and things like that. So got to work through some bugs as we get to learn it. But same way in trading, right? Takes time. But repetition is the mother of skill. We'll get better. The question that reveals the investor in you, if you had to put all your money in one stock, what would it be? And I told you I'd answer mine in a couple of days. I'm curious to see what yours is. I think it shows a lot about the person, what you would pick. But over here, I always list the dividends I think I'm going to get this week. I think that's super important. You might say, well, why is that important? What you think about comes about. What you focus on grows. If every week for 52 fucking weeks, I come on here and I write all the companies that are paying me dividends. And the ones that are paying me dividends, I'm going to go over to Morningstar and I'm going to run and check and see, hey, what is the value of this company? And then I'm going to go look and see what the fuck price is on the chart. And if the value of the company is less, right? If Morningstar says the stock's worth 100, the stock's trading at 60, I know I got $40 of potential to play with, either as a trader, catching the money flow pattern, right? Right here. Man, I'm flipping through like a online professional. Come on, Fox News. They could pick me up and do a chart segment, don't you think? Hey, so right here, these are the 4 stages of price movement. And I say the stock market goes up as much as 71% of the time. I made that up. It fluctuates. It's like between 65 and 75. It just depends, but it's in that area. The problem is it's not a straight line. Price can only do one of 3 things: go up, go down, or go sideways. That is it. Charles Dow. You've probably heard of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. There's a dude named Dow and there was a dude named Jones. They got together. But Dow, the reason the index is named after him, and Jones, I guess. That's bullshit though, because Jones didn't really help on that part. Jones is more the man behind the newsletter. So much like me with the Peters report, they had the Dow Jones report. Dow Jones is the guy that created the index. He took, much like I've done with the wind, he came up with a way that would allow him to very quickly have an opinion of what the market was doing. And so they had a way of it. They would just take the 10, they would take a train stock and this stock and that stock and this stock that kind of represented America, put it into one thing, and they would have an average. And that average was much like when I said, when I pull up the chart, if I put a circle 6 months back, the first candle, and then the one today, we can draw a line and it'll tell us the direction that the market's been going. And the market tends to keep going that way until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, you'll know because it ain't going that way. It turns, right? Well, see, John, you said Berkshire or Google. You can't have one or the other. You got to pick one, brother. You got to put yourself on the line there. And if you got it in you, maybe write me a line or two to let me know why. Anyway, that homework will be coming out, and there's going to be 4 charts. There's 4 charts. So if you just got the email, hit that QR code with the stupid looking duck up there. If you hit the QR code, you can get the letter I just emailed out. And if you're on Substack with us, it's in your app. You can always go to the app and see the letters, flip through them. Everything you ever want to learn about the money flow is in there. You got to take your sausage finger. You got to click it. Okay. If you click it, you can go over there. You can learn to do homework like I do. You can look at how I pick trades. We have articles on stage 1, articles on stage 2s. We got articles on everything, man. Articles on everything. My man says he trades the RB and the L and the X. And that's a good idea. Pick a stock and just ravage it. Treat it like you bought it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, a lot because of what you did. And I dedicate a lot of it to you because I say that people don't know how to invest. People feel that their parents are going to be richer than they ever were. Do you feel that your offerings, if people were to embrace them and work at a company that had this, we could kind of change this world where younger people will spend more money on Polymarket, betting about whether some, on some political event, when if they go with what you have, they might be able to, through savings, be better, be wealthier than their parents.
So a great statistic, if you put money to work on January 1st, 2000, and a year later, you had the dot-com crisis. 6-7 years later, you had the financial crisis. You had the COVID crisis. You still would have made 8% compounded over that entire 25 years versus earning 1%. It is so compelling to be in the market, and this is the story. It's not about if our market's going up or down. Is there a bubble in crypto or is there a bubble in technology? It's about being in the market throughout the cycle. Even if you put money in the United States in the year 1900, and then you had the Great Recession, you had the Depression, you had all these things, you would have earned over 9% over 125 years. So I'm not here to tell anybody what if the markets are going to go up.
Larry's talking about 8 and 9%. This motherfucker does not make 8, 9%. He makes more than that, and he knows it. For whatever reason, they do not like to go against that concept that you can't beat the market. We all know that's bullshit. Plenty of people beat the market. Plenty of everyday average people. It's called taking a fucking chance. And they just get involved in the market and they place some bets, man. And some people are going to get it right. So to say people can't beat the market is it's crazy. My man here just talked about SoFi. And SoFi's one I've been in too for a long, long time. And I think we bought it and this was one, see, stocks like a Reddit, an Uber, a DoorDash, Cart, SoFi, some are going to turn out to be Snapchat, and Snapchat just never got it going, man. It just, it's still tradable, but it didn't become Meta. It didn't become Instagram. It didn't become Facebook. It didn't do that, what do you say? Grab. So, these type of stocks like that, RBLX, my man AP here says he trades it. And you might say, you can be so into a stock like I am with Uber. I read the company bullshit, man. They have a 200-page presentation. I look at it. Shit like that. Like, I'm really into it. I would talk to the drivers. I would, just anything I could do that might give me an edge or just might keep me in the damn stock when times get bad, and look at it as an opportunity. That's investing. But over here on our trading side, we're going to take the money flow trading system and shit, we might pick up inverse ETFs, boom, make some money on the way up, right? We might buy puts, for insurance on the way down. There's lots of things we can do as we combine philosophy with overall big picture, which is the stock market goes up or sometimes, to then narrowing it down to getting our edge. And so when he said here, if you'd have bought in 2000 and then do the .com, that's exactly when I got started, right around then. And mine has been way more than 8%. That's all I can say on that. Let's see. Let's finish him out here. He's almost done.
Or down, but over a long horizon, and every individual who's thinking about it should be focusing on these opportunities. And I'm absolutely thrilled to see more and more young people investing in equities, not just Polycom. They're investing in equities. And if they can now translate that from just a trading and flipping account into a long-term investment strategy and be an owner of those over long horizons over your life.
Hey, but listen. There's a lot of people that will poo-poo trading. Don't listen to those people. You need to be a trader. And you say, well, I'm not good at it. Don't give a shit. Trade anyway. You're not good at a lot of things you do every day. Everyone should be a trader. Everyone has an edge. Everyone knows things. You might know a lot about makeup. You might know a lot about whatever. Okay? Unless you're just fucking complete dipshit and you know nothing, which I find that hard to believe. Of all the years on earth, you don't know about something. It could be cartoons. Well, fuck, who makes them? It could be, toys. Well, fuck, Hasbro, Mattel. I mean, it could be clothes. We got all kind of stocks like that. It could be you like high-end things. Well, welcome, Louis Vuitton. Fuck, that one was up huge. My point is, it doesn't matter what it is you know. You say, well, I'm into music. I don't know cool. So is Spotify. So is SoundCloud, right? So is Live Nation. They do the ticketing. So the companies provide the food. There's a lot more shit than just the noise you're making that makes up music or art or anything. We got to get it there. How are they going to get it there? They take trucks or trains or they fly it or it goes in a boat, So boats are investable. We're invested in Zim, right? That's a boat. That's a shipping stock. We're invested in trains, CSX trains. And so what I want to do is add these things to my buy and hold as they come available. Meaning today, you can't build the perfect portfolio. You can only build the one you can build. You can only work with what you have, with where you are, with what you can do. Man, anything in the past is fucking gone. It's over. You can sit and think about it, but it don't matter. The only thing you should use the past for is to learn lessons to not let it happen again into the future, which is called fucking wisdom, by the way. That's what being wise is about. Meaning I don't have to learn the lesson. I don't have to get run over by a car to know you shouldn't walk in the fucking road. Okay. If you got to get run over by a car, you're not very wise, but sometimes that's the way it takes that long. like UGB, real mo. Appreciate you, John. Current thoughts on DraftKings. I'll look at this. I'll take a little request here real quick. We'll come back. No, let me finish out Larry, and then we will.
You're going to do really well. And another interesting point, I think I've said this before, but over a 30-year cycle, if you earned an extra 0.5%, over 30 years, 0.5%, your retirement pool of money is up 15% more. Just 0.5%. So the virtue of compounding over 30 years, there's nothing more important. And Jim, you write about this all the time. This is what it takes. It's about being in the market, being focused on this over a long horizon. And the young people who are worried, they're not going to have much to worry about. America's.
You hear what he said? Hold on. I got off there. Sorry, guys. I got all out of whack there for a second. Larry said, I believe the children are the future. Man, they always trying to get the kids money. Kids typically are going to go where their parents went. And I don't mean heaven or hell. I'm talking about to Vanguard or whatever. You know, unless nobody in your family, you might have a family of dipshits and none of them ever invested. Let's see. Gerald, don't call my family dipshits. Well, if they didn't invest, they were dipshits. I'm sorry. That's the case. It's just the way it is. Let me see. I'm going to take this man's request. Matthew, if you don't have my book, go buy my book. Mofo. If you have my book, go get the course on getting started with stock charts. If you have that, let's see. That's oil. Let's put in DraftKings. DK. Is it? Yeah. NG. Now, I misplayed this stock, man. I ain't going to lie. Woo. I think this was one of my homework stocks. Let me pull it up on the big. Let me get it bigger. Matthew likes them bigger. Let's see. I'm just fucking with you. John Joe says, Larry trying to get people to retire at 70. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. He don't want you to get more than 8%. I've come convinced of that. Vanguard don't want a bunch of people getting fucking rich. They want you to get your little 8%, 9%, and that's it. All right. This here is DraftKings. If you guys don't know, DraftKings is a betting site. Now, if you own this stock, God darn it, gosh darn it, barnacles, I hope you've gone and you've looked and you've downloaded it and you played with it. You might say, but Jared, I'm a 65-year-old woman. You know how to push buttons, okay? Don't give me that bullshit. I don't like social media. Don't care. Nobody cares what you like, okay? If you go around in life doing what you like to do, you're not going to get very far. Let's see. Pull this up. So, somewhere between childhood and adulthood, people become stupid and start to just do things they want to do. Let's see. And that there's nobody you guys respect or look up to that do that. Let's see. What do you think about? Oh, hey, let's see. Tawanda Dawn says, what do you think about this stock, that stock, this stock, and that stock? That's a lot of stocks, sir. Yeah. Give me $100 and I'll look at those stocks. Kidding, not kidding. Let's see. Hold on. I got logged out of this shit. Remember, I used to have an assistant who would log me into these things for me. Let's see. I'll do it my damn self. Let's see. Here we go. Now, I used to offer to come to people's houses and put in the orders for them. Huh? Nobody does that for me. Let's see. Remember when I used to say that a lot? What do you want me to come to your house and do it for you? Sis is going to make me retired at 38. Take that, Larry. Yeah, man. I I struggle containing myself when it comes to the second income stream. I want to tell everyone, because it'll save the fucking world. Everyone is too stupid to take it in. It's not that they're stupid. They are stupid, but they know. People know, okay? The kids today are smart, intellectually, you know. Now, I wouldn't let them take me camping. You know, I don't want to be in Alaska with any of them stuck in the woods or anything. I prefer to do that with some old generation. This is, and we'll come back to what he's saying. You might think, well, how can you remember what we're doing? Yeah, I know what we're doing. Let's see. So this is DraftKings. Boom. Perfect stage one, right? There's your anchor point. Michael says, I'm about to get my parents on it. They need it. They do need it. Let's see. Anybody picks up one of those books there? Because I'm pretty sure our man here doesn't have my book. Tuan Don Ding. Okay. You might have it. You might have it. I don't know. If you don't have it, go get it, and then I'll do those charts for you. I'll do that for anybody. If you get them, any one of them tonight, I'll do that. Don't send me more than like 2, though. I'll mark it up for you. So, and it should correspond to what the course is teaching you. Remember again, when I said when I'm looking at it, so I see this run, so I go ahead and just mark it off. And what that does, it allows me to kind of get a feel for how this thing moves. You know, not perfect, but you can kind of get a feel for how, you know, how big its runs are and how big, you know, how when it runs up versus down, how big are the boxes. If you notice, these are boxes, right? Hold on. Okay, AP said it was rough for a bit. Did you come in at a bad time, AP? Was rough for a bit, but the money flow paid off. That is one of the complaints. If you guys go read any of the reviews about me, there's one out there where this guy says, the problem with Gerald Peters and his money flow trading system is that you got to keep putting money in. That's what he said. Well, fuck, dude, I don't know a system that doesn't, man. What are you talking about? Hold on. I mean, I don't know. I never heard of one of you just put one time. That's it. You're just going to cruise from then on. That don't make any sense, man. And I wrote him back and said, well, you don't have to put money in every time. You can stop right there if you're good. And we're doing other things besides that one thing, man. We're not just, you know, I day trade, but I also swing trade. And I also position trade. And I also do buy and hold. I also do second income stream. This is the indicator right here. I'll just pretend like you know about it. It's called the TSI, True Strength Index, created by a guy named William Blue in the 1990s. I love this indicator. This here is the MACD histogram, stands for moving average convergence divergence. It was created by a guy named Charles Hoppel in the 1980s, and he worked at a hedge fund. He got paid nothing for it, by the way. He gave it to the world. He gave it to the world. Can you explain your Instagram subscriptions? Now, hey, Josh, I appreciate the opportunity for me to pitch it. And I didn't even ask him to do that. Just as you asked me that, I said, man, I should get someone to ask me that all the time. Trying to think of the best way to describe it. Yeah, I show some behind the scenes shit on there, so to speak. My houses, my personal house here in the French Quarter. I was showing friends and stuff. I've kind of, a lot of my, you know, a lot of them grew beards and, you know, they're not as attractive anymore. So I've stopped showing them on there. Sis, I put 50K in and I'm just kidding. Some of them are watching. That's why I said Sis, which stands for second income stream. If you guys don't know about the second income stream, you're missing out. It's a strategy. And I thought it deserved its own little spot in the world, because I think there's people who are going to trade the sis who don't care about day trading, don't care about swing trading, don't give a fuck about Bitcoin, but they need the sis, they need second income stream. So that's why there's a whole Substack for it. There's going to be a whole nother Discord for it. I asked people, and that's the easiest way I can think of to communicate with that community. I didn't personally want to have another Discord. I already have a lot of platforms that I got to check every day. In addition to checking the platforms, if you're a producer of content, you got to stay up on how to fuck to use it and the best ways to do things. And not only as a user, but to use it really good. So I got to stay up with YouTube. I got to stay up with fucking Spotify. When you do podcasts, download that shit, edit it, and getting it out to all the different platforms and then upload it if you're doing a video. So a fucking 9-minute video might take me 4 hours. Oh, by the way, I'm a stock trader. So you get good at trying to figure out how to do two things at once. All right, back to what he was saying on this DraftKings. And then as I look at this chart, I like come down here, and this is the money flow indicator. How does it move? And then just look at everything, man. Look at it like it's a girl, man. Look at it. Not weird, you perverts. We know the bottom is the bottom. I know it sounds like, yeah, no shit, dude. I need 4 bars to confirm a bottom. What I figured out through my research and time here in the markets and doing what I do, just being really smart and awesome, is I would literally count bars. I do this to this day. As I'm day trading, I'm counting bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each, ni, sun, she, go. If you want to do it in Japanese. You know, let's see. Eins, what is it in German? That's the only German I knew is Wo ist der Bahnhof? You are very beautiful. 1 beer, please. And then if you want to order 2, you just stick your thumb up. No bullshit. That's how you order 2 beers in Germany. What's going good, man? What's up, Dean? Man, what is up, Dean? Sis, I put 50K in and I'm snowballing it up from 2K to 4K. Man, that's going to be easy peasy work. Bro, if you just need 4K to retire, shit, you're done. No bullshit. I've had people come in the money flow and they had however much money they had. It wasn't that much. 4 months later, they're retired. And they've been like, what the fuck have I been doing? They're just not, nobody's talking to them about this stuff, man. But some people, they're so broke, they can't even pay attention, you know. They're busy. It takes a lot of work to stay broke, man. It really does. It is not easy to be broke. You got to go out of your way. You got to do some shit. You got to get out and spend the fucking money. You got to go out into the world. You got to do things, you know. To get rich, you don't have to do much. You just sit home, man. You sit home at your computer. You read some things. And you follow them. So when this started breaking, there's your stage 4 decline, right? I start counting bars. 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, boom. This bar went above that bar. This is a potential anchor point now. So if I'm watching, did you get what I said there? That it's actually easier. It's easier to get rich because you don't go anywhere. You're not doing anything, right? If you actually have to put in work to go broke. You got to get up. You got to go places. You got to buy things, right? You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm. Yeah, he gets what I'm laying down. So right here, these are the 4 stages of price movement, right? As price comes down, bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar, 5 bar. There's such a thing as time continuity in trading. Time continuity has to do with the overlapping concept of time. Time is the most valuable product in the world. You know, everything is time. It really is. Everything is time. And so as we look at a chart, when I changed it from a 1 day where each bar is 1 day to where each bar is 15 minutes or 30 minutes, you're going to get more bars than if you were on a daily. That'd be duh, right? This opens up the concept of time continuity. What happens when we have an overall direction on, say, a one on a daily bar, right? We look at the daily bar and we go, market's going up. Boom. Cool. We drop down to the 30-minute, right? And the 30-minute, what? Let's say it starts to break out. Well, there's more bars on a 30-minute. That would lead you to conclude, oh, shit, we might be turning, right? And so you can begin to see price move through what we call time continuity. And if the first guy I learned from, I spent $5,000 fucking dollars to go to his meeting. Dr. Elder, let's see, who wrote the book, Trading for a Living. That book changed my life. Hey, homework this week. Click the QR code if you didn't get the email that I sent out from the petersreport.com, right there with the ugly duck. And that is entitled, we're talking about if you had to pick one stock, what would it be? Can't pick two. It's got to be one. Don't even give me two. One. I don't want to hear, well, this or this. One. That's the whole point of the exercise. And yeah, nobody would do that. It would be fucking dumb. But if you had to, what would you pick? I'm going to give you mine in a couple days. I don't want to influence it. And if you pick mine, man, I should have a prize. I'm going to think on this. Maybe we'll do a conference call or something, group call. And you get into it by picking mine. That would be cool. Some of you think you already know it. Let's see. Man, I like you put 50 grand in the cyst. Let's see. Can you explain Instagram subscription? Well, really, the main way, I think when it first started out, that was just a way for people to help me out. You know, coming on here, doing these live, this is all, I don't get paid for any of this shit. That's my obviously my problem, not yours. And that's just the way that game works. You've heard my concept that what you'll do for free will pay you the most. And it really is true. I mean, people who become guitar players do it free first. People who become sports people do it free. You know, by the time you made it to the NFL, you've played a lot of fucking football free, you know, and so they tend to either get paid nothing or just too much. I'm trying to work on the too much side. But also in addition, I show them my buy and hold portfolio every Sunday. I may have skipped one or two. Man, it's had a head rush. Maybe. Man, I'm color coordinated today, huh? Look, got the black shiny watch. These are pearls. Black pearls. Like a pirate. Let's pull up that chart of DraftKings again. Boom, here we go. So as I'm watching this come down, I don't know if I even had it up earlier. Big move down. You do nothing right there. You know, if you're busting out because you had a stop loss, that's one thing, okay? But you do not step in and start buying on that move right there, okay? I'm telling you, your performance in this game will improve if you get what I'm saying right here. Because if you just heard Larry, what Larry just said was, if you came into the stock market in the year 2000 and take it to today, you've averaged 8% a year compounded during that time. That's not bad. You can make a lot of fucking money if you were putting 20, 30, you know, whatever. I know a lot of you guys don't put that much. 10% to me is nothing. Like, you're not even participating. It's, you know, and I know to a lot of people it feels like a lot. It's not a lot at all. You know, and I think people would put in more if we would start to talk to them that way. You know, I was watching this guy fucking brag on Twitter that he puts $500 a month. You might say, well, it's more than I do. It's a lot. No, it's not. Just because it's a lot to you does not mean it's a lot. So if you think like this, what happens is you start to allow other people to limit what you think you're capable of doing, you know? So my goal was $9,000 a month. I wanted to put $9,000 a month into the stock market because I knew for fuck certain I would get rich doing that. I didn't even make 9,000. Okay. So that's an unreasonable goal. Well, there's no point to have a goal if it's fucking reasonable. And that's just called a to-do list. If you can accomplish your goal, that's called a to-do list. You know that, right? Yeah. Your goal needs to be bigger than you should be a little embarrassed. Like you're like, Jesus, I don't even want to say this. That's a goal. That's something worth work. Otherwise, you're just doing to-do lists. Now, let's see. So if we get you thinking bigger and we get you not going out and spending all your money and get you take a period of time and you just all you're doing is exchanging your value system. Instead of valuing that, you value this. You're going to get the same fun and same thing out of it. Meaning love is the same whether she's pretty or ugly if you love her. I mean, if a girl's prettier, can you love her more than if she's not? I don't think so. If it's love, right? So if you love stocks like I love stocks, and pretty. 1, 2, 3. So what I'm counting until it stops and then the next bar goes above it. So the first time that happened was right there. And then what? Next bar. But what happened? That bar went below that bar. All right. We need 4 bars to stay above the lowest bar to be considered an anchor point. Think of a boat dropping an anchor. Boom. It's done. That's the bottom. Next bar breaks. Boom. We start the count over. Right? Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, but we're not above the 5. So we got our 4 bars. We got our anchor point right there. Anchor point. Right? And we got our 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I count the anchor point. Nothing wrong with not counting the anchor point and just counting 4. What we're trying to do is build the box. Because if you look, that builds the box. I tend to jump it. Let's see. I do that on everything I teach. I teach you the conservative right way to do it, and then I add what's called experience to it. And you can't necessarily teach. I mean, you can teach what you've learned, but I can't impart to you how to feel the chart. Like I just sit and stare at it. You know, the best way to learn to do this, if you want to learn to do this, and this is what I would do if you came and you said, "Hey, Gerald, I'd like you to teach me to trade." Cool. Well, when should I be there? Whenever the fuck you want to come. We can do it at night, man, if you really want to learn. Bitcoin trades 24 hours a day. Bitcoin is the same thing trading as during the day with the stock market, okay? It's the same shit. It's millions of people coming together from all over the world with different ideas, different thoughts, and different opinions. They're not trading stocks for the same reason you are. A family office handles the stock market different than a day trader. The Ken Fishers of the world who are front running trades on Robinhood, like the GameStop shit, that's a different thing. The kids from the GameStop, that's a different thing. They're looking for stocks that are short. I mean, so there's lots of ways for people. There's lots of ways to play this game. And so everyone's coming at it and looking at it from a different point of view. That's why logic doesn't work. Tesla. Hey, hit me up. Go over there, go to geraldpeters.info, man, or hit that QR code. And there's something on sale over there. It may not be on sale. If it's not, if you're about to buy something, I might have a discount for you. Or I might not. I don't know. Let's see. Why it's not? I think it's not hyperlinking it, is it? That's weird. It says put user in timeout. I guess I could put my damn self in timeout. Gerald, timeout in the corner. Now, what we're looking at here is a 1-minute chart of Bitcoin. Now, let's back this up. It just has a general look. What do you see? Remember what I said? I go left to right. So I come over here. I grab my circle. Oh, I was going to do a circle. So circle. Where's the next one? Over here. Now, if we connect those, what do you got? It's going up, man. Bam. You know, I paid like $1,500 to learn that. No bullshit. went to a seminar, and that's what a guy did. He did it the long way around, because if you just do what I just did and show you, you're not going to be happy you paid $1,500. For whatever reason, the more money people pay, the more fluff they want. I mean, if you could show it to them in 5 minutes and they leave knowing exactly what they need to know, they would rather you make it a 5-part mini series if all possible. I don't know why that is. John Joe says, have a good night, man. You too, man. Catch up with you. You can catch the rest of this on archive. And I'll breeze through and then we'll get out of here. I've gone through a lot of concepts. I'm going to try to start doing this more often, man. Almost did church this weekend. So we got an up channel and we can begin to get a feel for it. Now, some traders could trade this. They're that nimble. They would wait for it to come in, probably get below the 20. And the moment it started to go above it, they would jump in, place a stop right here, and then they would watch this 7 RSI. That's how I do it when I'm day trading or scalping, man. We're in and we're out. I might take 40 trades that day. So if you wanted to learn how to be a swing trader, and I swing trade exactly the same as I day trade. It's the exact strategy, same system, same indicators. The only thing different is the time frame on that chart. Okay, that's pretty much the only difference. So I'm going to take 40 trades in a day, maybe 20 to 40. But what if I do that 5 days? It's 200 trades. That's going to take you 10 fucking years or 20 fucking years if you're doing regular swing trading, probably for most people. Maybe not 20, but you can compress that time. Well, what if you did that every week for 52 weeks? I didn't say you made money day trade. Who gives a fuck? Because what you're going to learn is you're going to, in a short period of time, you're going to compress finding pivot points, the apex point, the stage 1, then boom, the entry, the block, the breakout. You're going to go through this stuff fast. Fundamental information, values. Michael said, Sunday church session, please, GP. Okay. I've had quite a few people ask me about bringing back Sunday service, man. I used to catch a little hell for Sunday service. People didn't understand them. I had done it Sunday service for like 5 years. That's why I stopped, man. But I tell you what, business is better when I do them. Let's see. I'm going to save this chart here. Somebody had asked about stock charts. I do have a course called Getting Started with Stock Charts, the Money Flow Way, where I combine the money flow system and how to use their charting platform to show you how the money flow works. I think it's awesome. You can go all the way down to 1 minute. I wish they had like 5 second, but they don't. Or 30, 15 second. That'd be cool because we could trade even faster, and that would accelerate learning. But you can put it on a 1 minute, and it refreshes every 30 seconds, I think, or every 15 seconds. Everybody's saying they want them. Okay, we can bring it back, man, with the good old church music, man. I do still do it sometimes.
It's up almost 170% over the last 6 months. Here to talk more about Ether and large crypto trends, along with the broader markets. Let's bring in Joe Moglia. Joe.
Clap them in.
It's always great to see you. Original sponsor of Fast Money.
Thank you, Melissa.
So there are so many companies out there now that are Ethereum treasury companies. Right. They go public. They are public. Their stocks skyrocket. I mean, what is so intriguing? What is so interesting about a company that is designed to acquire an asset?
Well, I think for the most part, the people that grew up in the Web3 world and the DeFi world really are on top of their game. But it's a lot of people in the traditional finance world that still tend to struggle with this a little bit. So if you think about where the future is, 5 years from now, there's not going to be a stock, there's not going to be an option, there's not going to be a mutual fund, ETF, anything that's not in effect tokenized. Stable coins. 5 years ago, nobody heard about stable coins. Today, we've got about $280 billion market. And Secretary Bessent had said that two years from now, we'll probably have a $2 trillion market. Ethereum is about 60% of that. So Ethereum's got its own blockchain, and it's got programmable smart contracts that in effect can do really complex financial institutional type transactions, especially overseas, that can be done almost instantaneously instantaneously today, and that's going to be the way of the future. So 5 years from now, the market that we know it today, the exchanges, 24/7 markets and settlement, et cetera, that's going to be the way of the future. And I'm not sure traditional finance has necessarily quite accepted that yet.
All right, Joe, you got to tell us this, all right? You're a market legend, and you really are somebody who democratized.
I'm a market legend too.
A lot of technology to a lot of investors out there. At what point did you ever think that you would be a chairman of a company that is buying digital assets? Because Larry Fink was on 60 Minutes last night, and he's being questioned. At some point, he didn't think crypto was a thing, and now he recommends everybody should own some.
Well, that's because he used to be a real traditional finance guy. Now he's a DeFi guy, and he's a Web3 guy, and he appreciates the future. I mean, Larry's a pretty bright guy, right? You don't want to go against Larry, but maybe this was 13 years ago when my partner, Kyle Sermonero, and I founded actually Fundamental Global LLC. And then the different things that we've looked at since then, and Kyle's always been thoughtful in terms of what the future might be. And then when we started to look at the DATs, the digital asset treasuries, and we met Maya Voinovich, who is in charge of our digital asset strategy. The combination of all those for us, when you think about the future and you think what's going on, to me, this is still the early stages. It's kind of like Ethereum in an equity wrapper. It's not just the Ethereum by itself. It's an Ethereum with an equity wrapper.
Joe's too humble to say this, but I will. He was the Grand Marshal of Columbus Day weekend.
Yes.
It was going to be the parade today. The parade was.
All right, so these dudes are talking about Ethereum there on CNBC. And as you know, Tom Lee's been out talking about Ethereum as well. So we'll get to the Ethereum. But hey, bro, to answer your question on DraftKings, yeah, it's stage one entry, man. I'm thinking your first target, $44. And then we'll get back to this Ethereum here real quick. $44 and $48 would be my targets on that if I'm trading it. You know, if you're not trading, you're doing the buy and hold thing, I would probably take some down up there in that $48 region. And tell you what I'll do. Let me where's it at here? Oh, geez. I had a little brain lock there. I'll put the here's a link to that chart. Should let you click on it. For some reason it doesn't. You can let me know. I can send it out to you, but that's, you know, that's basically how I'm looking at that. On here's Bitcoin on the 1 minute, and we'll get to the Ethereum, promise. This is Bitcoin on a 30-minute. What you're seeing is a stage 2 breakout. Now, what is cool about this is what I love about it is we can see a pattern, a tradable pattern. Price has been here, you know, and it's horseshoes, man. It's hand grenades, not horseshoes. Meaning, give it a little room, okay? But yeah, I think that DraftKings, I would be happy to come in this 35 range, take it all the way up to that 48. Price has been here before, so look what happens. I expect it. Once this one happened right there, and I'm reading the chart, I expect this to work. I expect it to work. What happens first? We know the TSI is going to turn up. The MACD, the moving average convergence, divergence. Man, I have spent so much time with this goddamn indicator. I think that's how I lost my first wife, man, looking at indicators. Let's see here. No, that wasn't it. I remember now. All right. I remember YC. I remember now. It holds here. Support holds here. Right. So when I got the second bounce right here and coming off of what it was over here, I assume it's going to hold. Now I'm looking for the stage 2 breakout. What? Price ripping out above the 20. All the moving averages turn. Everything turns just like you see in the book. Price runs up. And where do I think it's going to go? Where it's gone before. So I expect it to run from this 111 to 113, which is 111,000 or 113,000. That's 2,000 point move. Well, if you're doing a 30-minute chart, that's a hell of a move. You know, it's a nice move. You made some money. On Coinbase, you can trade perpetuals now. You don't even have to pick the fucking month, and it's not an option. You own it perpetually. So if you think it's going up, buy those. And you're leveraged 10 to 20 to 1. Think about that. So I've been buying Ethereum using Coinbase, using perpetual contracts, meaning, and you're leveraged. So I'm buying, 10 to 20 to 1. One token, I'm getting 20 or 30 tokens by using perpetual contracts. What was I going to say? You could take this all the way down to a 5-minute if you're right there and, you want to start taking it down and you notice the pattern a little better. The tighter you squeeze Bitcoin, the harder it gets to trade it, though. Okay. Let's take it up big and I'll get out of here. I want to look at Ethereum real quick. Dollar sign, and then what it is. Dollar sign silver brings up the continuous silver contract for the futures market. Dollar sign gold, dollar sign Brent brings up oil, copper, and all, blah, blah, blah. So that, but I mean, you actually have to go fucking read them and see what they are. Maybe write them down, take notes. That's why I have a notebook, because I'm smart and I know I can't remember everything. So I write shit down. Ideas. You won't have ideas if you don't expect to have ideas. Did you get that? Meaning I expect to have good ideas. I expect to find stocks I can trade. I expect to do good at it, whether I am or not. That's what I expect. Let's see. You notice we're coming together here. Well, and I don't use the terms everybody else uses. I don't use flags and pennants and double shoulder and triple bottoms and blah, blah, blah. I use money flow language. We have, an anchor, we have an apex, we have a stage 1, 2, or 3, or 4. And the RSIs, we have oscillators like the RSI and the MACD histogram. And then we have support and resistance levels, supply and demand levels in my own 2 fucking eyes. And that's what I need. That's the indicator, me. And once you've used these a lot, you don't even need those anymore. The only reason I even use moving averages and everything, I can do it without it. I can tell you where it's at. You could take off the RSI. I've looked at so many charts. I can tell you about where the RSI is going to go extreme. This is winding up. Should break to the upside. I'm guessing. May or maybe not. But let's see. So this is ETH. And I think we're on the support side here. Now there's my lines. You see them? Come on, baby. You can see what it's doing, huh? We're inside a channel. Price can only go up, down, or sideways. And it can only do that too inside of these patterns. There's a channel. Now, another way we're trying to play Ethereum, these Ethereum holding companies. BR, what is that one? Yeah, BMNR. I can't believe I remembered that. It's Bitmine Immersion Technologies. Hold on, let me try to get a close-up picture here. Oh, I can't. Shit. All right. News rank. One part Alizé. $50. It's been as high as 160. So these fuckers are going to take this thing high if they want to. This is an Ethereum holding company. They're trying to replicate what MicroStrategy's done. What Saylor's taking his stock up 600%. Plus what they've done with the Bitcoin. So these guys are going to do it in reverse. They're going to start with that, collect a bunch of it, leverage it, use that to probably buy other shit that'll generate income. That's the way I would do it. Yeah, Ethereum's a buy here. The way I'm going to play it is perpetual contracts. I'm not buying the actual coin. I'm gonna buy Bitcoin for my coins, Bitcoin Cash, some Solana, XRP. But I'm gonna play with this stock here, BMNR, and the actual. There's a couple ETFs out there I guess you could use, but then I'd rather use perpetual contracts on Coinbase. Yeah, that's a good question. We've got several stocks. Those are just two off the top. There's an ETF called SLON. That's Solana. It's an ETF. You're going to start having Solana treasury companies. I thought about making MFG Capital a Bitcoin Cash treasury company. We'd raise a bunch of money, get Bitcoin Cash, leverage against it, put that shit in a system, and just collect money. That's what we should do. Let's see. I think you can only do it with 12 people, though, in the beginning. I want to show you something here. Hold on just a second. Anyway, you should see my whiteboard. I do these every Sunday. That's posted in the very back on page 36 of the Peters Report. Also, if you're on my Instagram subscription, someone asked me about it. I show little back scenes. If you like watching an old man drink alcohol, that's a good subscription to get. Or if you just like to know about stocks, I talk about that. I talk about different things I'm looking at, trying, whatnot. Sometimes I give them little ebooks that I come out with first. I've done that twice. What else? What was I going to show you? Oh, we got I don't know if you've ever messed with this CNBC Pro, man. You can track the money you're running in there. Like this one's 1.1 million. You can pull your individual positions here. It'll show you the ones that did the best and the ones that did the worst. Usually right off the bat, that'll tell you something. It'll tell you, news related to it. You can go over here and look at earnings and dividends. I love their setup, man. It takes the channel to a better, to me, a bigger level. Let's see.
Also seemingly being canceled is people's appetite for the United States dollar. So I'll ask you, when you think about the viability of crypto, Ethereum, Bitcoin, is part of it sort of built upon this concern about the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency?
I think that's very much part of that. Stablecoin, though, really is stablecoin and the U.S. dollar very much wind up going together. So, again, Guy, when you think about what the future might be, I can't. It's hard for me to fathom that Bitcoin or Solana or Ethereum is going to replace the dollar as the world's reserve currency. But for it to be a significant part of our future going forward, I think that that's very, very real. I don't see it replacing the dollar.
So as we think about tokenization, and again, FG Nexus's position here and on the rails that are Ethereum, which will allow for all this. I mean, what I hear is that all assets will be tokenized within, I don't know, is it 10 years? Is it 5 years? Your thoughts on this? Because I think everything we're doing is really leading to that. It just, the rails aren't in place yet.
I would agree. Totally agree with that, Tim. In fact, one of the things we're looking at when we look at real world assets, we are in the process now of tokenizing as part of FGLC. We have a reinsurance company, and we are looking at tokenizing that risk. We're in the process of taking a look at that now. But I think going forward, real world assets are going to be tokenized, and as the rest of the world is going to be.
Pick it from me one time.